Hey lovelies, thanks for stopping by my channel today. I can't believe another month has gone by, which means it's time for another favorites vid. I'm excited to talk to you about all the things that I loved in October. A lot of these I'm still planning on using in November. And luckily, I feel like I didn't really have too many fails this month. I do have one that's sort of like a buyer beware sort of situation. We're going to talk about that towards the end of this video. But if we haven't met, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Let's get into talking about all of the products I enjoyed using this month right now. Okay, I'm going to start off with some hair care, and this for me is a product that, especially as the seasons start changing, I really enjoy using, and this is the Paul Mitchell Tea Tree Special Shampoo. So this is, of course, loaded with tea tree oil, Melaleuca alternifolia, and this for me is a must-have when I start getting that dry, itchy scalp, which for me, I sort of have a lot of the year anyway, but as the season changes, like as we go into fall and winter, it just like amps up. I just love that this is very invigorating. It's a nice cleanse without being like overly stripping. This is also the shampoo that I reach for if it's been quite a while since I've washed my hair and I want to do like a double cleanse. I'll go in with this first to help just sort of like remove impurities and everything on the scalp, and then usually I'll follow up with the sulfate-free shampoo. So you can see that I have the Big Daddy size because for me, once I know that I love a product, I always like to get the bigger sizes for more savings. This is one that I truly love. I think that most of us know about the soothing antiseptic properties of tea tree on the skin. This is definitely a great way to like get your scalp feeling good, less itchy, and ready to start your day off with fresh, bouncy hair. So I really do enjoy this one. If you haven't ever tried it out, give it a go. It does definitely have that very invigorating scent as well. And I personally love the little like tingle factor that's there. I know that's not everybody's jam, but I really love it, especially if I'm like sluggish in the morning and I need to like have a little pick me up before I have my coffee. All right, I just have one little skincare mention here, and this one was sort of surprising for me. So this is a little mini of the Laneige water sleeping mask. So this is actually the second one that I'm going through this month. I had two little sample sizes, you know, got them from Sephora. This was probably in a birthday gift at some point. But here's the thing. I'm a little hesitant to use Laneige because I hate the lip sleeping mask. Like everyone loves it. Well, most people love it, but I find that it makes my lips peel like crazy. So I'm just always like, ooh, do I want to try that? So finally, I think actually it was more out of desperation. I was traveling and I was like, okay, this is a little small size. I'm going to take it and give it a try. And let me tell you, I quickly fell in love with this product. A big part of it is the scent. There's just something like fresh and like, it's like slightly floral, but like a just crushed flower petal, but it's also like clean and like a little oceanic. I don't know how to explain it, but the texture of this is also really nice. To me, this is very similar to the Belief product. This one is like almost that like slightly gel cream texture. So I think this is actually probably fairly similar to the Belief one. I do like that one as well. Now I like this one so much that I did consider putting it into my recommendations video for the Sephora sale, but I was like, oh, you've only been using it like not quite a month. I don't know if I can put skincare in, you know, unless there's something that's like really like blown my skirt up. I really want to wait like at least a month, but almost more like 2 months to really see if I'm enjoying a skincare product. So I didn't put this one in there, but if you're curious, if you do like that creamy gel formula, you would really like this one. The thing for me is the texture of this is so nice. It really does feel very hydrating. It's creamy on the skin without being too much, and it's not sticky. That's the thing, because I find a lot of these like sleeping masks are sort of like kind of sticky, and I don't want to have something that feels sticky on my pillow. So this was my last skincare step that I would throw on, and I really did enjoy this one. So I have about half of the sample left. Am I going to purchase another one when this is done? Probably not, just because, as I've talked about before, I'm really trying not to purchase any skincare. I have so many cleansers and moisturizers right now, like in my house. You could come shop for skincare at my house. Like anybody interested? Like I have so much that I really need to get through. So this one will probably go onto my Sephora loves list, and I would consider purchasing it in the future, just not right now. But I definitely have a much better relationship with this sleeping mask than the lip one. Okay, I just have one beauty tool I want to mention this month, and this is the Rephr eyelash curler. Listen, You know how sometimes you don't know how much you love something until you haven't been using it for a while? So I had misplaced this little guy. I had a hard time finding him for a couple weeks, so I was forced to go back to my Shiseido curling iron. I keep calling it a curling iron. I've like done this clip like 3 times now. It is an eyelash curler. So I like this one. I like this one. This is, you know, this is a pretty popular eyelash curler, but I just find that this one lifts my lashes even more. I don't know what it is. I look at these and they actually look very similar, like even just in the way that they're built. I mean, it's an eyelash curler. Like there's only so much difference you can have, but the shape seems pretty similar. I don't know if it's the pad in this. I don't know what it is, but all I have to say is that I love this Rephr curling iron. It's a fairly good price. I will have this one linked down below if you're looking for a good one. I'll have all of this stuff linked down below, but if you are looking for a good lash curler, this is a great one. I know that the Rephr sale just ended, but I'm sure that they'll have another one coming up around the holidays, so you'll want to keep your eye out if you're looking for something to keep your eyes looking open. So speaking of beauty tools, I did consider putting in a couple of my favorites from the new BK Beauty Core Extension. However, I've only had those for a couple weeks. I definitely have some that I've really been enjoying, but I do want to give it a little bit more time before they go into like favorite status. So keep an eye out for next month's favorites. Maybe I'll have a few in there. I am also considering doing like a top 10 brushes. That's gonna be really hard. Top 15? I don't know, a top brushes. I've done a favorite makeup brushes video here on my channel before. I'll have that one linked down below, but that was like, was it 2 years ago now? Maybe not quite, but you know, new brushes, new things that I've been grabbing for. So I thought that like mini faves would maybe be a good way to update that video. But if you are curious about some of my other favorites, you can check down below. And by the way, if you are building up a holiday wish list and the BK Beauty Core Extension was something you were kind of thinking about, if you missed my video on it, I will have that link down below as well. I really tried to give you a thorough review with demonstration using the brushes and comparisons to some of the other BK brushes and a couple other brushes from other brands. So again, that one will be linked down below because I think that this is like the time of year where we start building a wish list, not just for us to shop sales for ourselves. I find that makeup brushes are a great thing to put on a gift wish list this time of year. You know, it might be something that you're like, I don't know if I want to spend the money on that right now, or like maybe something you're less inclined to treat yourself with, but it's a good thing to give as an idea for other people. So anyway, let's go ahead and move into some makeup. I do have a few things here. Oh, should we just go ahead and talk about the one fragrance? You all probably know what it's gonna be. So I am gonna talk about this one, and I haven't even used up this sample yet, but let me tell you, this Dolce perfume oil. I still have not tried out the Eau de Parfum yet. That is being shipped to me currently, but this perfume oil, I don't even care that I haven't finished this vial. I can tell you that I am madly, madly in love with this scent. If you like a good little like cozy vanilla moment, but this one is definitely, it's got a little different something to it. I just love how long lasting this oil is. There was one night that I was like getting into bed and I like, you know, pulled up the covers and I just like got this waft of this perfume oil. And I'm like, oh, I said to Jeremy, I was like, oh my God, I still smell good. I'm like, I can still smell that perfume oil. I really like this. I'm really excited to try layering it with the Eau de Parfum. Now I do have to say, the one thing that I'm a little bit worried about, so this set hasn't even been out. It's probably been like a month, maybe 2 months. I'm not even sure, but I probably saw it like a month ago. The thing is this perfume oil is not even listed on the Sephora site anymore. And it's like, it's in the Sephora favorites kit. So I'm supposed to be able to turn in my little voucher for a complimentary one. And it's not listed. It's not even listed as out of stock. When I went to go get it online, it was listed out of stock. And now Sephora's like, nope, we don't know her. So I really need to call customer service and see, because I'm gonna be crushed. I'm gonna be crushed if I can't get it. So I'm hoping that maybe, because I saw the reviews and I saw that everyone was like, I'm using my voucher for Dolce. So I'm like, okay, maybe they just were like a little overwhelmed and they're like, take a pause, y'all. So I'm hoping that it's coming back. I really need to call customer service. But anyway, honestly, I'm gonna say, if not, I'm gonna keep my eye out on the brand site to pick this up during a holiday sale for sure, because it's delicious. Okay. Now, let's dive into the makeup. So I'm gonna talk about this one first because I just realized I don't have any on and I thought maybe I would do that. So can't get this anymore, but if you're like me and you bought it, you probably still have it to be able to be used because it's ginormous. This is the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronze in the shade Tantastic. I really, really enjoyed this bronzer. I think for this time of year, it's a very natural looking shade for me. I'm gonna throw this one on while we're talking here because I just realized, oh, I didn't put on a lick of bronzer, which for me in the wintertime, a lot of times I'll just like go crazy with the blush. Even though I have a neutral leaning warm skin tone, I find that as I get more pale, I have a hard time getting a bronzer that looks natural. Like so many of them just start to look really orange or like just too warm. It's just too warm. So I really like this one this time of year. You obviously, like I said, you can't get this anymore. By the way, I am using the new BK Beauty 111 Dense Bronzer Brush. So, I mean, you can just see, like that just gives, it's almost like somewhere between a bronzer and a contour because it's like nudging towards a little bit cooler toned, but not so cool that you're gonna look like ashen. You know what I mean? So I really like this. I think it goes actually really well with this like cool tone blush. This is the one that exploded all over me from Lisa Eldridge. I've just got it in a little like pot right now and it's in my fall Shop My Stash. So anyway, I just wanted to bring this one in for this time of year because it is perfect for me. And I just wanted to make sure to give this one a moment in this month's favorites because if you bought this, like I said, you probably still have quite a bit to use up and now is the perfect time of year to do so. While we're on complexion, let me just talk about a couple powders that I've really been enjoying. So one of these I know that I love, and one I just recently found in my drawer and I was like, gosh, I don't even remember what I thought of that. So let's talk about the known love, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. Look at that pan, y'all. It's been a while since I've had that much pan in a product. So I use the shade 1 Fair, and that's really just because this is a product that I primarily use in the areas that I like to conceal and that I like to keep a little bit more highlighted looking. So I'll usually run this one underneath the eyes and maybe down the nose and on the chin, sometimes a little bit on the forehead. It's what I've used today. It's the only powder that I have on my face. There is just something about this powder that is just so blurring. It really does work well as an under eye powder. I originally got shade 2 back when I first tried this, and I just found that for me, that was a little bit deep. I think I probably tried it in the like fall and winter time. I definitely think for the warmer months when I've seen a little bit more sun, I could use shade 2, but I just found that like, I just didn't find it as brightening and like as flattering on the skin. And to be honest, like I just can't see having 2 shades of this. I just can't see having 2 shades of the same product, so I'm just fine using this one. If I do decide that it's one that I want to use in the summer, I just use a very light hand with it. Actually, I pretty much always use a very light hand with it because I'm not a huge powder person, but I do really love this one. It is so, so good. And it's something that like now that I am getting a little bit more fair because I haven't seen the sun, that I've been pulling out more and I'm just like, yeah, this one is so good. Okay, so let's go into the newly rediscovered powder that I found in my drawer. This is the Bare Minerals Original Mineral Veil in the pressed version. This is the translucent. Now, I do have to say, I'm not sure how this would come off on like deep skin tones, but I have gone through and like used quite a bit, and I found that because it is so finely milled that it doesn't like have a white cast. Actually, let me go ahead and I'll just like throw a little bit of this on while we're talking here. I don't really feel like I need any, but I can just go ahead and pop a little on. So I usually just use like a somewhat fluffy brush and tap in and then just kind of dust it all over. So this is one that I've been using as a touch-up powder because I find that it's tightly pressed enough in the pan that I don't pick up too much on my brush. So if I did want to touch up, like oftentimes if I'm filming later in the day, or let's say we're going out to dinner or something and I feel like I'm a little shiny in this area, I can quickly just like dash a little bit of this on and I don't feel like, oh wow, now I feel like I look like very powdery. I'm not normally one to like powder the entire face. I mean, I did just now just to kind of like show this one off, but I think that you could use this, especially if you're just looking for like a no powder finish, you know? I don't know that this one necessarily like is overly blurring. I think that the Charlotte Tilbury does a better job of that. This isn't something that I would want as my like under eye setting powder, but it is a really nice touch-up powder and I've really been enjoying it, and I'm glad that I found it in my drawer because it's like, oh yeah, I've got this, I should use it. Okay, one complexion item that I want to talk to you about, but I don't actually have it because I finally used up my little sample, but I do have a full size on its way, is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Foundation. I've really been enjoying that foundation. I have a feeling I'll be wearing it a lot this winter. It's pretty much been that and my Bare Minerals Tinted Moisturizer, the Complexion Rescue, that I've been kind of like going between. This is what I have on today. It's definitely more like, I don't want to say it's more lightweight, but it's definitely lighter coverage. I would say it's also a little less of that like serum-y feel and more moisturizer feeling. So I feel like this is one that when my skin is super dry and I just want something to like whisk on to sort of like even out my skin tone, this is what I'm gonna use. Whereas the Triclone is definitely, it's funny because like this is more hydrating, but the Triclone Skin Foundation is more glowy and definitely more slippy feeling to me. But I really like the coverage of it. I actually prefer to powder that foundation a little bit, so I find that that's probably why I feel like it lasts a little bit longer through the day as well. So for me, with the house foundation, I use a very thin coat of it. I do like to powder it, and then I find that it like lasts all day so beautifully, probably because I'm not using much and I'm powdering it. So we'll see as I go into fall and winter if I feel like I need less powder, but it is a quite glowy foundation, but I am loving it and I can't wait to get my beautiful bottle. So one more face product, and I just can't put this one down. I'm actually going to take it out of my fall shop my stash and rotate something else in because I'm like, okay, Kelly, we get it. You like this. This is the Tower 28 Beach Please Power Hour blush. I still cannot remember. I think that Beach Please is the blush and the shade is Power Hour, or is it vice versa? Whichever. You all know what I'm talking about, but this is this nice, like, slightly brown, slightly berry, slightly rosy thing. I don't even know. It's like a neutral mauve berry brown. There you go. That's what I'm gonna say. But I've really been enjoying this one. It's got just enough warmth to it that it really enlivens the skin. Now, I do want to say that this is a very pigmented blush. It's a beautiful, like, just thin enough formula, but it does have quite a bit of pigment to it, so a little goes a long way. So it's probably good that I have been using it a lot because it would take a long time to go through this whole one, I think, but I've really enjoyed this one. All right, while we're on Tower 28, let me just sing my praises for the Make Waves mascara. It's sold out at Sephora during the savings event with good reason because this is a great mascara. And as I've mentioned before, I feel like $20 for a mascara at Sephora is actually like pretty mid-range. And I really enjoy this one. It's not what I have on today, but it's one that I've been using a lot. I didn't put it on today because I had to run and go find it in my travel bag just to talk about it in this video. But it's that perfect combination of length, volume, and lift, and it lasts all day for me. I find that it comes off fairly easily. I do end up using a makeup remover, but I pretty much do that all the time anyway. So this is one that I love. If you haven't tried it out and you've been curious, it gets my stamp of approval. So I know that I am like very sort of like cool toned makeup today, but today is November 1st, so maybe I'm turning a new leaf. Fall pun intended. But October was all about the warm lips for me. And I have a feeling that's still gonna creep in through November because that just gives me that like cozy, toasty, like enjoying that crisp air kind of feel. I usually hold off the super cool tones until winter. I wanna share with you two of my lip products that I was just reaching for all month. I'm not gonna stick on these too long because I've talked about them a lot and they are both in my favorite fall and winter lip color video, which I think will have gone up before this video. If not, stay tuned because you get to see the rest of them. But the first one I want to talk about is the Oden's Eye Alva Cream Lip Stain in the shade Sweet Tulip. So this is this beautiful, like orangey, yeah, I would say it's like a reddy orange or an orangey red. So this is a cream lip stain. So it's glossy, but it does leave a bit of stain on the lips as the gloss wears off. I love the smell of these. It's just like nice and lightly fruity. I feel like so many lip products anymore either have a vanilla or a mint scent, and I think that those are both fairly polarizing like scents. I personally like both of those, but I know that there are a lot of people who really don't like mint or really don't like vanilla. So this is a nice little difference. Now this one is almost like the maybe like more grown-up, sophisticated, chic sister to the Sweet Tulip shade. This is the Merit Lip Oil in the shade Cara Cara. So I've swatched it here next to it. So they seem very similar. Like they seem very, very similar, but this one is actually deeper and a bit more of that like reddish brown tone to it, whereas Cara Cara is obviously more sheer. It's a lip oil, but it is a bit more of that like more, you know, I would say wearable orangey shade. I love both of these. For me, it's like, this is my very quick and easy, like whip it on and feel like I'm a little bit polished, but I have that, again, that like warm fall vibes, whereas the cream lip stain is definitely when I'm like wanting to make a statement with my lips, where it's like, hello, I'm here, check out this badass lip color that I have on, it's fall, y'all. Like, you know, they definitely have a little bit of a different vibe, but I do love them both. So I did want to put both in here because I've reached for them both. Like, probably these are the two that I've worn most of the days this month. All right, let's talk eyeshadows. So I definitely have been enjoying the new Divina Cosmetics launch, especially these three little velvet shadows. So, I mean, I think that everybody loved the like new like sparkly multi-chromes, but I think that there is just something so soft and understated about these velvets that I've really been enjoying. So I'm gonna swatch them here. We'll just do some finger swatches. So I'm hoping that you can see these here, but they just have that wonderful little like soft shift. Water Mist is definitely my favorite, but they just, I mean, they're just, ooh, yeah, look at that. Like, they're so pretty. Verdant Frost has that like fun, almost like a green gold to peach, and then Soleil's is that beautiful like pink peach shift. They're all very fun, and like I said, they seem a little more like understated in the pan, but like once you get them on the eyes, they are very, very beautiful. And again, while I think that everybody was like really loving on the new sparkly multi-chromes because that texture is just so wonderful and it's like so mind-blowing how many colors are like packed into one pan, there's something about the understated beauty of the velvets that I really enjoy. So I love them all. I did do a full video with eye swatches of every shade, by the way. I'll make sure to have that link down below. If you do want to shop, my code KeepBeautyReal will save you some cash. This collection right now is excluded, but you can pick up other things. And by the way, those were gifted to me. Thank you, Divina, so much. But you all know I keep it real over here, and you all know that I'm pretty much obsessed with Divina, even when I'm buying eyeshadows from them. Okay, two eyeshadow palettes that I want to talk about. This one I found deep within the depths of my drawer when I was doing my eyeshadow palette declutter. This is the Cutting Edge palette from Dose of Colors. If this is not a perfect fall color story, I don't know what is. You have these grungy gold greens, a beautiful like ambery orange, and then you have those beautiful dark like olivey deep foresty greens. I love it. I love it. I have used this one, like, I think I used it like 3 times in 1 week. I was just like, yes, I just want to keep grabbing for this one. It's so pretty. It's so grungy. It's one that I love, and I'm so glad that I found it when I did my declutter. And the other eyeshadow palette, none of you are probably going to be very surprised. It's the Nomad Cosmetics Hudson Valley palette. You could probably all tell when I did my looks video that I was just loving on this color story. These mattes are all so very beautiful. I have been reaching for this one. Like, I've been using the shimmers with it. I've been pulling out other shimmers for my singles. I just love this little color story. It's definitely going to be one that I keep out on my vanity top for the rest of this season. I really do enjoy this one. I think they did a beautiful job with this color story, and I've been very happy with it. I have a couple little randoms to talk about. One is a fave and one is I'm not quite so sure. I haven't made up my mind. Like I said, buyer beware. Like I said, buyer beware. So I just want to take a quick moment. I talk about native deodorant all the time here on my channel, so we're just going to take 5 seconds to talk about this scent, Ginger Mule. So this is one that isn't on the site right now, but I feel like they do like little special releases, and I love this one. So I did want to talk about it. If you like a good ginger scent, like this is that like spicy ginger, kind of like punch you in the face ginger. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not like a baked goods ginger. It's a fresh ginger smell, and I really enjoy this one. I think that I'm gonna enjoy it wearing this when I'm wearing my like deeper, more like rich gourmand fragrances. Like, I really is that kind of weird? I do try to match up my like deodorant scents to something that's not going to clash when I put on perfume. So this is something that I'll wear like with my vanillas, like with those like richer, headier scents, because this is a little spicy to me. But I've really been enjoying it. I wasn't sure when I first got it. I remember like hauling it on my Instagram stories, and I was like, ooh, I'm not sure. And I don't know what it was, because now I absolutely love it. I was just looking on the site, and they have some new holiday scents. I get drawn into the scents, y'all. I'm going to stop because I definitely have some that I'm using up right now, but this one is a great one. If you do like ginger, I'm sure it'll come back at some point. So let's talk about my little, like, I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this. So I have talked about Fabletics here on my channel before. I do still have a membership. I really enjoy it. I love their leggings. They have some great sports bras. And I was really excited when they announced their partnership with Lizzo for the Yitty brand. So this is a pair of the mesh leggings. So I'm gonna like put my arm in here so maybe you guys can see. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you can see like once these are on a leg, they definitely have that more like meshy vibe to them. But these are, you know, they are fairly sheer. And then it looks like you're wearing like a high-waisted brief. So I would never wear these on their own. right? This is something that I wear underneath something. Like for work, I have a few cute A-line black dresses that I like to wear, but especially in the wintertime, I'd like to have a little more coverage when they're like above the knee dresses. So I thought that this would be like a cool, funky vibe to be able to have. I do also have some like solid leggings that I'll throw on, but this little like mesh, I was like, yeah, that'll be cute. And it is, but the like inner thigh area, all of that, it's all the same material. Like from stem to stern, it's all that mesh material. So the inner thigh is mesh. So if your thighs touch and they rub together when you walk, you're going to have mesh that is like rubbing your thighs together. Let me tell you, I have to wear these on a day where I know that I'm not going to be like walking miles, or a day that I know that I'm not going to have these on for like 12 hours because my inner thighs hurt by the end of the day. And so I was like, yeah, a mesh legging. I guess I just thought when I bought them, and I'm sure that I saw on the website that isn't the way that it was, that they weren't like a softer material up above, like where your thighs would rub. And I should have known, but I just didn't think about the uncomfortable factor of these. Now, I just have to say, when I popped onto the website just now to like look and see if there was a picture that I could show you guys, I was like, oh, they have some really cute stuff right now. So if you haven't tried Fabletics, I'll go ahead and have my referral link down below, because you can shop obviously from Fabletics, but you can also shop Yitty, and they have some great things right now. I definitely might be doing some shopping later today if I have time. But these leggings, I was just like, okay, maybe we should rethink the way that these are made. I would love it if it was more like a slip short top and then went into mesh on the bottom. But I know that's not everybody's vibe, because maybe someone's going to be wear these with like a short skirt or something. I don't know, but yikes. Buyer beware, like I said. All right, that is it. That is everything. That seems like perfect timing, because once I start getting rambly about mesh leggings, you know it's time to shut it down. Shut it down. So I hope you've all enjoyed. I hope you're all having a wonderful fall. Thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to spend it with me. It really does mean so much. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like on your way out, and I will see you really soon.